Alright, YouTube, welcome back to the how-to videos. Now that you've got the casting stripped of all the paint and cleaned up, some casting, especially if you're going to do a really nice paint job, you might want to file down, on the edges. Sometimes these things are a little rough, especially some of the older castings. But once it's all cleaned up, you got your bare metal casting, you're going to want a few things. What I use is I found these on Amazon, and I'll try to put links to everything in the description of stuff that I use, or some of the stuff. But this was basically an alligator clip on a skewer, and they come in the package. And yeah, open it up and kind of put it on one of the posts or a spot that's not going to be painted, and it holds like that. I picked this up here at the Dollar Tree. This is that green styrofoam stuff that they put like flower arrangements in. It was $1 for this whole thing. Then I wrapped it in black duct tape just to kind of make it, because it's real brittle and it will put that green stuff everywhere, and you don't want that. But anyways, you just take the skewer and poke it down in there like that to kind of hold it. So with that, I'm going to do the interior. I'm going to paint it too, so you'll do the same thing to that. Now on the plastic pieces, it's a good idea to get this stuff right here. It's Adhesion Promoter, VHT. And you spray this on the plastic before you paint it, and this helps paint stick to it better. I've had issues with some of the plastic pieces running, the paint kind of dripping off of it and not getting a good coat. You're going to need a primer. This is what I use, Rust-Oleum, and I use white. There's different colors of primer. I use white because I like my colors to be a little bit brighter, and your primer coat, if it's a dark color, the color will be a little darker. But just play around with it, and find different things, whatever you like. But a good primer, and I'm a fan of the Rust-Oleum. They seem to be working for me. And then some clear coat. I get gloss. I use also matte clear coat and satin clear coat, depending on the finish you're wanting. And whatever color you want the car to be. These are pretty good ones from Hobby Lobby. You can use your 40% coupon. Like the testers have some really nice colors to do. For the video, the techniques are all about the same, but for this video, I'm just going to paint it in white primer because I want the casting to be white, and then I just gloss over the primer. And I'm doing this because the next video will be decals, and most decals are easy to do on white if you get the ones that don't have the white backing. The white backing, you have to trim off all the white. On the clear backing, you don't have to. So if you have a white car or a light colored car, I've done some different ones. But anyways, for this video, we'll do a decal video later also. But anyways, for this one, we'll just do this for now. I'm going to try to set the camera up to see if it will do it. But you'll want to do the painting in a well-ventilated area, outside preferably. I'm doing this one real quick indoors, which is a bad idea, but so don't do that. Do it outside when it's cold, and I'm wanting to get this up and going, so I waited too long. But since it's just two little pieces, I figured, and since I'm not doing a whole lot with it right now, that it should be okay. I got a window open to kind of get some of the air out. And anyway, so I'm going to try to set the camera up over here and show you how I do it. And there's tons of ways to do this, and this is just how I do it. And that's to get you started. And with me being on disability and balling on a budget, this is how I do it. So it works for me. I mean, I like the end result on a lot of things that I do. So without further ado, let's flip this camera around and show you the process. Okay, so anyways, we're going to start with the plastic piece with the adhesion promoter. Make sure everything is shaken up very good. And just take the piece. I usually about this far away, 6 to 8 inches, and just sweeping motions. The stuff is clear, and it just takes a little bit, and it dries pretty quick. So once you get the coat on there, I stick it back in the holder, and then we'll grab the other part I'm going to do, the body. Hope that's not too loud. And anyways, about the same distance. I do sweeping motions, just light coats on there. Be sure and cover the whole thing. Do the inside as well. Doesn't take as much on the inside, doesn't have to be as good. But you just get a good coat on there. Should look like that. Looks pretty good. Get out of the... Everything's laid pretty flat. If you spray too heavy, you will get runs in it, and that's not a good thing. So spray lightly and keep the can moving at all times. But you let that dry. The adhesion promoter dries pretty quick, so I'll go ahead and put a coat on that. I'm using the primer. Be sure and get all the crevices. And this will, when you do your details, depending on what color you're going to paint, when you do the adhesion promoter, you really don't have to have the primer, because the adhesion promoter will act as the primer. But I usually do it anyways. But so yeah, got something in the paint there. Yeah, then you'll just let this stuff dry. The primer dries really quick. I usually let it dry about 30 minutes. And then we'll let those dry, and I'll come back and we'll do the clear coat. Okay, now that the primer is dry, you'll want to do your clear coat. This is actually where you would put on your base coat, whatever color, or top coat, whatever color you're wanting it. But since I want this to be white because we're going to do decals later, I just spray clear coat over the primer. It's cheaper for me that way. It's not the brightest white, but it works because I'm going to cover it in decals anyways. So the same motion as the other processes. Just spray it on there, thin coats. This you can just focus on the top of the car and the sides. You don't have to worry about the bottom. And since I'm going to be doing decals on this one, I'm just going to stop there. You'll want to put a couple of clear coats on your car, but I get this started and then I'll put decals on and then put more clear coat over that. So what you would do after this is let it dry and then apply 2 to 3. I usually do about 2 to 3 layers of clear coat. I mean, you can do more, but I try to stretch my stuff out, as far as I can. But yeah, so I hope this is helpful for you guys. This is kind of how I do my painting with rattle can. And hopefully this will get you guys started. Alright, so I hope some of those tips were helpful for you. The clear coat and primer, I picked those up at Walmart. The adhesion promoter, I think I may have found on Amazon. You can probably find that at some of your local stores also with the paint products. But be sure and follow your precautions. Do it in a well ventilated area. wear a mask if you need to. You really should, especially if you're going to be painting a lot. But if you're outside, and be careful outside in the wind. Kind of get in a place without wind. I have painted outside and it be windy and kind of, it's a little crazy. It's hard. But anyways, so the next video will probably be decals. I will do a small video on that to kind of show you how I do that. So far, you know, if you've been following this, you should know by now how to take one apart, how to tap and drill it, how to do a wheel swap, make your axles, strip the paint, and now paint. So the next process, which is something I like to do, is decals. I mean, it's pretty fun. I do them in Photoshop. But anyways, this was a painting video, so hit the like button, leave comments, ask questions. I'll try to answer as much as I can, if I can. I'm by no means a professional, but I enjoy this, and this is how I do it. So anyways, this is Smooth Criminal signing out. Be good or be good at it.